He really has it.
We've said club bangers, but if you had to pick one song as your song of the year, East African song of the year, I don't know how you're going to do it.
Let me start because you already said it for me. Mine is the one.
A song that I've had to like repeat though.
Me, I'll go last.
He says he
No, because you just said
really
it. And for me, it's the one by Lillian Babazi.
That is
it's the one.
great song.
As soon as you said it, I was like,
guys,
I just said my song of the year.
What do you mean? Like, what are you? Why do you choose this song? Like, do you have like?
Yeah, there's reasons, obviously.
Yeah. So just like break
Okay,
it
so
down.
for me personally, song of the year, I want like a song that really feels like a song of the year, like it gives you that feeling, right? I just don't want to say a song that was the biggest banger in the country, because that becomes obvious.
Was like your number 5.
I want to say a song that inspired me, but also I enjoyed. And this is the thing about Lillian. No one expected Lillian to come and do what she did this year, and just she came and like did very crazy music. And another thing about this song is that it's like crazy song. I feel like it represents what the new generation of urban music is trying to do, right? Because you have a lot of people like singing, making a lot of music like in English, and you go in places and people will be like, "Oh, we don't music in English, bro. It's not our like." You go to a lot of heavy Pan-African communities and they'll tell you, "We don't want any music in English." We saw Gorola Moses almost fought a guy for trying to do a conference in English. And so there's obviously the identity crisis, which is like, how do you make music that's for Ugandans but also represents you as a person, the way you grew up? Because a lot of people grew up alienated from their cultures. Yeah. So you cannot necessarily ask of them things that are not them. Do you understand? But still they're Ugandan. So you find that the next era of music is going to look something like people are going to be combining languages, right? Just so they can.
They kind of
and
already
she did
are.
that. Yeah, they kind of already are. But not in our mainstream, though. It's not happening in our mainstream. Our mainstream is still 99% Luganda. You understand?
But that's why I love Bantu vibes.
Yeah.
They came in with, you know. So I'm a Mutoro, yeah?
Yeah.
And very easily you will not expect a Mutoro jam to slap, because...
What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I'm like, triggered. As another
What do
motor.
you mean?
Kohen is a Munyoro. Now that ti katitira is an actual
Yes.
Batoro, song.
I think even JC
We have
Muyonjo did that
double,
on his.
And
a
then
week later, which is funny.
played with it and made it such a bop. Because anytime before Cohen and Lucas Black had done that thing, I'll tell you, I would listen to it any single time. They came up and changed how
even from then.
They came up and changed how I
perceive
personally
your
perceived
culture,
it.
yeah.
It was okay. That's that culture shit. That's dope.
That's
but
good. That's good. That's a positive impact.
Now, for me, I like that, but I also know that in the future, like in the next 2 years, our mainstream is gonna mostly have multilinguistic music, so that people from abroad can also appreciate our music. At least the way we listen to an Afrobeat song from Nigeria, at least I'm gonna die on the words I understand. I'm gonna go get 4 Omale lines in English, and I'm gonna die.
Zara Zillions has a drum where he sang in French. That I had yesterday. And he sang in French, and then I think there was some English in there, and there was something else in there. There were like 3 languages. And the whole time I was like, I see you.
So for me, that song with Lillian, the one, it represents, fight coming up and winning even when you're against the odds against you, because the odds are not with her. It signifies for me what the culture is going to look like 2 years from now when
and
it's
also
like taken
for her,
over.
it's a big deal because in her time when she first started out, her, Juliana and those guys, they were not able to do that English music because it just did not.
And we didn't even know they could, bro. We didn't even know they could.
They tried, but...
When our parents be telling us musicians are mostly illiterate, it's because the industry forces them to make that kind of music, and we actually be thinking they're illiterate. Imagine growing up thinking a woman like Lillian Baba is dead. Can you imagine, bro? Just because of that. Anyway, but the media needs to do better because they're selling us very false perceptions of what
I'm sorry, I just feel like when you talk about like the media, let's be honest. Let's just be honest about that conversation.
Moses Serugo, I'm talking about your media, like your newspapers and TVs. And I respect Moses Serugo, but I'm saying his media. Why this conversation with him?
Where is
He said the media is not playing catch up to what we're doing. You understand?
But I know that I agree with you on the one because I find like it's so well written and just structuring of it. It like listen, it It is. Like I had to fish. It is. Like she's the one. Like she is the one. Cynthia,
you try.
Okay, so Song of the Year would also then assume that you've like listened to it and like played it back and like rinsed it and like gadgeted it. So my Song of the Year is Olivine by Mwami. It came up like very early in the year, and that song is just so well produced, and like the harmonies and all that, the entirety of it, and also like just everyone came through.
Yeah,
I listen to it every morning. Like that's how because that's how I have many songs that I could have picked.
Yes, like it.
But I was like, okay, repeat value. Let me see.
It was difficult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sammy?
I don't think we have an East African song of the year.
It's
possible, yeah.
No, not that it's too many. It's just that there's pretty much no song that has actually crossed, because we are now talking about crossing borders.
We
are looking at East Africa. We are looking at Tanzania, we're looking at Kenya, we're looking at Uganda, we're looking at Rwanda and Burundi. And now we have to take into consideration DRC and South Sudan.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask you, do we actually
have a song that we can blend?
Can I take
Forever
it to Nairobi?
by Chameleon.
And
definitely doesn't fit your
yes.
criteria.
Can I take it to Tanzania and people will vibe? And then I'll take you back to when
But the one you
Big Trill
Yeah.
released Party After Party. That was an East African song.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the time when...
Wait, was that when you guys were like Song of the Year? Was it supposed to be like
No,
big
it's
for me?
It's perspective.
That's
It's
perspective.
Yes, it has to be like it's not a Ugandan or a Kampalan song.
Forever
it
by
has to be
Chameleon.
East African, must be consumed in East
And
Africa. Even
the
Sauti
remix.
Sol, who gave us Susanna. Susanna was an East African anthem. Yeah, because people in Rwanda were jamming to it, in Tanzania, everywhere. You look at what's the name when Diamond Platnumz gave us Jeje. You understand? It was there, but this particular year. You will look, and we actually do not have a song that you'll play in Kampala, it will be a hit. You'll play in Nairobi, it will be a hit. In Kigali, in Dar, or in Juba.
Well, we're about to
Forever the remix with Chameleon and Sauti Sol.
It's
Because when you go to Nairobi, they're really bopping to it, and then when you go to Tanzania,
that's where it's coming to. Yeah. In terms of Jose Chameleon's Forever, I would say a song of the year here. Is it song of the year in Nairobi? Probably not. But
can it
is it a song?
Is it possible that
you remember when when Femi One and Major gave us Utawezana?
Yeah.
That is a song that actually crossed the borders. So when you're looking at East Africa, look at a song and how it has been able to extend.
But then, in another perspective, that's a great great perspective. But then, if you say there's none, then which at least is your favorite? No, not even just that. Which is your favorite song out of East Africa?
Oof, I will have to have
Mbwembwe.
Mbwembwe.
That's unfair. Do we also get like...
Mbwembwe is Aaron Rubui and Bien of the Bold Men Love Better, EP. Then obviously Forever would also be there. But then again, honorable mentions. There's a kid in Kigali, Elements. He did great with Kashe. Then there's a kid in Tanzania, J Melody. He did great with Nakupenda, because that is a song that would...
If it crosses...
Okay, honorary mentions, Pen and Paper by Karun.
I see it.
I see you.
African anthem, I'm not sure.
No, I was saying like, for me, like if we're adding, now it's for adding.
But that is something that... And the producers and the artists that are here, think about it. Think about how you create music that crosses the borders. Yeah. If it's a great song, what are you doing to make it even greater, to make it cross borders?
Just like one question. So when you mean cross borders, you mean it's being played in like hotspots and like bars, or it's being played consumed with a certain group of people in Kenya, with a certain group of people in Rwanda, and the rest of EA?
I feel like it should be, let's say you have Black and Whites here, it's in Nairobi, right? If a DJ drops it in that concert, in that festival, guys are gonna go crazy.
But then you see, because of genres and stuff like that, imagine, let's say, a Joshua doing, let's say, maybe a Mama, he made it off Watershed. And you know how, like, some music is not for the, let me call it the party scene, but it can be so great and greatly consumed.
Yes.
So even the example of Blankets may not be, because what he's saying, when he said a certain group of people, I felt that in a sense of, let's say, if we are some R&B fans that consume some slow mellow stuff, and like we are niche group here, we are niche group there, we are niche group there, can't we still have a song of the year from that genre?
I mean, look at Essence. Essence is R&B, but it's, you play it whatever. Understand?
No, but I meant like that other one, that mellow.
Karun's, not Karun, Nikita Kering's.
Nikita,
you get
that is
R&B, boy. It's like
that was a song. Jeez, you've put that in my mind now.
That's interesting.
Yours.
For me?
My song of the year? Ebiange.
JC.
My nigga Axon.
Yeah.
Lucas Black.
Yo.
I love that.
Cohen sings like, I like to think of singers as birds. Because I think birds, you know, their voices are pretty. And they do that in the morning. And it's like that every day. They just wake up and... I think Cohen is one of the most beautiful birds. His voice is... And you see, I like that he has that whole... The song can be dancey, but he'll just add... Let me sprinkle some R&B on that, but it's not cry R&B. We're not bored, yeah? Let me just sprinkle for you some sauce. You know, you've had that TikTok sound of... But you just add a little, you know, class.
And the way she's saying
he just
it, like...
sprinkles it there. That was...
Yeah. It brings them aside.
That was Ebiange, Cohen JC,
Lucas
Axon
Black.
and Lucas Black. Sweet jam, sweet.
Great song.
Nice. You guys,
The way he starts with a disclaimer every time.
As a producer.
It's all right.
As a producer.
No. It's not even as a producer, but as a listener. You guys, these two songs tied. I don't know if that's in the rules, but like these two songs tied. I feel like Sweeter.
Yeah.
If we're talking about...
You guys, Sweeter is a fire, yeah.
It's for niggas.
It's for niggas, it's for any time you're chilling, you're waking up, you're going to black.
I just feel like Maui Moon has really like captured his sound and he's in his bag with how he's
and you guys, song, bro, for guys who are going to look for this music, mention the guys on the song.
Maui Moon, Joshua Baraka, and Mao from Nowhere.
He's a hard guy.
Yeah. So let me just like refer to
Mao from Nowhere is on that song.
Yep.
Yeah.
What he said in terms of like East Africa, you get. Maui Moon is Ugandan Rwanda.
Yeah.
Mao from Nowhere is
Kenya.
Yeah. Kenya, but like also just like having ties like you would like Tanzania.
From nowhere.
So you guys, East Africa.
And Joshua, hey.
It was very
completely.
And Joshua Baraka.
Complete.
Our hometown Uganda.
Yeah. That's as close as it gets, honestly.
And the other guy.
That's a good answer.
You get done
Denesi.
You get 2D1 way. Smash.
Yeah.
You're laughing.
It was really me trying to be crazy and Lagum trying to be Lagum. And
balance.
We met somewhere halfway.
Balance,
Yeah.
2022 has been great and guys have released a lot of dope music, but who do we think we should look out for in 2023 and why? Who do you think are the artists to look out, UG artists to look out for in 2023 and why?
Then you will see her properly.
I been new.
Ninja C has gone through a crisis. And after, people go through lots of crises. It's like some of the best music we've had, people have released them out of heartbreaks.
Adele.
Taylor Swift, Adele.
Yeah, so basically we're going to see a lot more from Ninja C. And I like where their mind is at right now. Yeah. So, man, this is me saying, we need a lot.
Bro, that pressure is getting worse.
So, yeah.
Damn.
Just one person, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So need to see my
Bro.
Wait, what?
So I know it's one person, so I'm just going to run them because they're like 3. I'm giving it real quick to the R&B girlies holding it down. Agum.
Nice.
Agum. C.
Bro, she's on my list. Please, see, we need you to I don't know.
Nice. Hey, got the list is still going.
Tie-dye. Full stop.
Ooh,
Tie-dye. That's it, yeah.
The chef.
You guys, someone to look out for. Chxf Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
You guys, I'll just do you like she did her, but like she did you, but quicker. Mommy.
He's done. All right.
And Kalibwani from Kenya.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
My UG artist to look out for someone I think is going to have a good year, 2023, is Cohen, because of course we know what he's been doing, but someone who released this Heartstrings the other day and who announced an album next year, and who, the last 1 or 2, did most of its work this year. So I expect him to carry that energy into whatever winner experience he gives us next year. So I'm really looking forward. A big fan.
Man, next year. First on the list, King Missy. So she's like a rapper who is on the scene, and she has so much potential, man. I just, when the time is right, I know she's going to come for us. She released an EP this year, and it was fire, and that was just based off of no experience whatsoever. So then there's the homie, the industry plant. Can't wait for him to bloom. I know he already has several projects lined up, so I'm looking forward. And then Mike Mungu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I listened to him this morning.
Serious, but crazy.
Interesting. All right.
Denesi.
First of all, let me just say, big up King Missy, big up. I have a couple of artists as well. Let me just run through them real quick.
You guys are
I'm gonna run through them.
I feel bad as well.
I'm gonna run through them real quick. Nah, but these are artists that we already know though. I feel like Nkwanzi has been consistent every year, so I feel like if you're consistent the way Nkwanzi has been, you're gonna have a year that you're gonna pop off in a crazy way. And I feel like if it's not next year for Nkwanzi, then he has to look for someone who is stopping him. But I think next year Nkwanzi is gonna go international or something.
Yeah.
Mwami, I feel like Mwami got introduced to a lot of people this year. I don't know where he was hiding, bro. I first met Mwami from the Xpressions team. So wherever Mwami was hiding, he just came out this year. So I feel like whatever Mwami is going to do next is going to be very, very... People are going to be excited for it. Because we just started listening for something old he did and it was crazy. I feel like one of these 3 older guys already legendary are going to go off next year. And I feel like this is between either Rionga, Lillian, or Maurice Kiria. I feel like all those 3 are at the top of their game right now, and I feel like one of them is gonna do something very crazy next year.
Can I add one more?
On that list, yeah.
Martha Smalls.
Right.
You guys are not ready.
You mentioned the old guys. I have to say this. Into the camera. Joshua Baraka is going international next year.
Yeah. Let's go.
I won't be surprised.
But you guys.
Guys, let me finish. Let me finish. So
much for one.
I feel like there was the MTN Hip Hop Awards that happened, because I've said everything. There was the MTN Hip Hop Awards that happened, and there was a bunch of lead guys that made the stage, King Missy inclusive. I feel like 1 or 2 people from that whole list is gonna be
Ibra, Trigger.
Yeah. Even the Ibra they said was from there.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The guys I had on my list from
Motono.
that was either Motono or Trigger. Right? And I feel like, we've already spoken about Motono. I feel like something more needs to be said about Trigger. Trigger is a crazy, crazy, crazy artist.
I was just vibing too.
Hello, Virginias. We did a creative and Trigger did 8 songs, and they're all very different. Very different, an all top level. So I think Trigger is going to do something crazy. And finally, I mentioned for Axon, because I feel like Axon is going to do a thing we want Cohen to do as well. Because Axon has gone hard this year. Yeah. I feel like he's going to do something that's going to go international next year. Yeah.
Jehovah, just give people the chance to listen to Black Vibes. Just need the world to listen to Black Vibes. Just Jehovah, do it. He already went.
I think you guys have some interesting lists since it's lists
Yeah,
now.
like
Me, Sam and I are now one artist. I feel like we've ghost worked on that. But I look forward to hearing a lot of like the way this year guys came out swinging, and it's not just like there's a lot of singles like she said earlier. Then there's a lot of projects in Uganda here, and it's been great, and I'm looking forward to see how the music moves into next year. But of course, the music moves with the DJs. So who do we think is a Ugandan DJ? I feel like she's cheating. Hey, y'all be reading my tweets. But
let's just go.
Ugandan DJ to look out for in 2023.
I know there's been a wave of female DJs doing this, doing that. Well, we might wake up and Ninja is also a DJ.
I can imagine.
But yeah, I think we need to pay attention to Boogie. I like Boogie a lot. Irakos has always been his thing. DJ Mac, Slaughter Ellie, I like what they do with SNMS on 97 FM Radio City. So yeah.
I think DJ Mako,
yeah.
Or Marcus, because that's all
Man, both.
And they're all on Radio City.
So both of them, they're young and they're gifted. And yeah, I like the way they try to do research in terms of going underground and get all this music.
Love Mako.
So, yeah.
For sure, love Marcus.
Mako.
Yeah.
Big up.
For me, if this is not just for Ugandan music, but if you are a music person and you're a collector, crate digger, album head, that kind of, we don't just scratch here and just transition.
Put here.
Oh, one guy, I'm saying this to the camera. Where's the camera, by the way? Right there. Ayo the Walker.
Interesting.
First and the only one. What's his name?
Nice.
Remember his name?
Great.
2023, let's
Why does
see.
you play, bro? Anyway,
Ayo,
I'll ask you
the
after.
I'm going to plug you. You're going to be so pumped.
Yeah. Let's go.
The chef.
Wow, guys. DJ. I like what Vans has done.
Yep.
So we look out for Vans in 2023.
Thanks for making it easier for me.
Yep.
And since the two people to my right seem to know my answer, I'll just say it out there and make it clear. My UG DJ to look out for in 2023 is DJ Jeffers, because Jeffers,
For real.
Jeffers,
For real.
is a bringer of it, and he understands the music from the different genres, from the different styles, and he goes and listens to albums and brings stuff to being out and listening to stuff you're listening to.
You're like, let me first pull out my Shazam right now.
And like, it's just great, and that's just stuff that excites me, makes me happy. So,
Yeah. I just really like that everyone that was on my list has been mentioned. So when I can mention my one with my chest, I really am looking forward to DJ Yella coming out big time next year.
For sure.
Yeah, like I feel like she had gathered like great, like I feel like she had gathered like a lot of momentum, and like if she can like hone into that energy and come through next year in a big way. Yeah, she should.
Yella is definitely an exciting brand even right now.
Yeah, like as a brand, like just as a brand, I feel like if she really puts her mind to it, we can go far. And then also like influence the culture as well.
Yeah.
Also like people who really need to be encouraged, motivated, given that extra hand are the producers, because they're the ones who really like carry the music. And many of the producers we have here in Uganda especially are like quiet and to themselves, and it's now that we're starting to see the culture where there's like collaborations happening with the artists and the producers, and I feel like as a people we also need to not they don't most of them don't even like the light, but like to give them the credit where it's due. If you do a project with a particular producer, make sure you shout them out, make sure that their name comes up in rooms, make sure that you give them the credit on the music, because they're people, they're artists out there, we know, very big artists as well. They work with producers and they never give them credit. They never, like, you'll go to the information on the song or on the album and it's like, where's the producer? Like, who did this project?
And on that's why it's dope to see the whole accent thing on a number of
and
these
shout
projects.
out to the female producers that are coming up.
Akine's project, Birth of Black Vibes, as she said. Of course, Enough of Cohen. And
also, can I just add?
And he also gets is often as featured. I like that. It's we get to see and know that it was Chxf Barry and then
it's fair. Exactly.
You mentioned Kush's thing, and of course, there's a featuring DJ Chapat on the production of one of the songs.
And also songwriters. I feel like now that's becoming a thing. Like people who are out there who have the skill to write songs for other people have always been in the shadows, and yet it's like a whole, like even John Legend recently was coming out about all the songs that he wrote, and you're like, what? But what I wanted to say was, for the culture now, it's also good to see self-sustaining artists where it's like you can produce your music, but also sing and write and like really like diversify in that it's not just you go to the studio and you hope that the producer is also able to visualize. And I think in that way we'll be able to achieve like getting the sound right, which we can export internationally.
And with all that, it's been, like we said, a year of constant music dropping from the top, all the way at the top. Like guys came out swinging from early Jan. We had like a number of projects, right? I was telling people it's just funny how we have something for each month. Yeah. Like this year feels so long because of how much has happened, how much has been dropped, how much has come out. And we just have to look forward to the next, because we're like, if guys keep the momentum and keep the energy going, I don't know. I saw when Denesi, on the release of Nkwanzi, I saw a lot of tweets about, is this going to be the first single of that album? So hey, so even you had like a number of songs, and like you said, we're looking forward because you had a number of drops this year as well, a couple of features with Taka, Lamu, and of course the single Crisis alone. It was a key there earlier as well. So, and then the single Crisis that just dropped. So we look forward to seeing. I'm excited personally for next year in terms of the growth of the industry as a whole. And I hope with a different, we're sitting here with different people from different, let me call it parts of the industry. And we're all fans, we're all listeners first, and then we're what we are in our different walks. But here, I believe we have wrapped 2022 the Xpressions way.